What's up, everybody? Welcome to Polyrhythm Music LLC. I'm David Van Dyke, and today we're going to talk about scandal, deceit, betrayal, cults. What could it be? You already know. Linkin Park has a new singer. So let's get into this. First off, I want to say I started this channel to give tips and talk about writing music and playing music, and I did a lot of guitar heavy content. I've got drum heavy content coming. The reason it hasn't is because I'm doing a whole thing about my return to playing drums. I was a drummer majority of my life. I broke my back in 2005, which made it I wasn't capable of playing drums, so I switched to guitar. Fast forward 9 back surgeries later and neck surgery, I'm going back to playing drums. I'm not giving guitar up by any means. I'm still a guitar player. But I do want to get back to where I can play drums. So I'm documenting all of that. And it's a lot of stuff to edit together, and I want to take you on the whole journey. So that's what's up with that. But what are we doing here today? You guys keep encouraging me to do reaction videos, which is so bizarre because I started this channel to talk music and show things off and teach and things. But I love talking music, and if you're going to encourage it, I'm going to do it. So here we are. Linkin Park rolled out a new singer this week. 38-year-old Emily Armstrong. She was formerly the lead singer of Dead Sarah. Yeah, Dead Sarah. I'm going to look down a lot. I got a lot of notes on this because there's a lot to cover. So Linkin Park plays a show in LA where they introduce their new singer, and they announce that they have a tour. It's 6 shows in major cities across the world. So they wanted to go on a world, vacation for a minute. 6 shows. And they have a new album. And it's called From Zero. That's the name of the album. That's the name of the tour, which is a weird name, and I'll get into why in a minute. This didn't go well. At least I didn't think it did. It didn't seem to. It seemed overall reception to Emily was positive, but boy, from the first day it came out to the next day, people did some digging, and whoa, they are not a fan of Emily. So here's why. Emily comes from a family that are big Scientologists. Her parents are like higher up. Like her mother was like the press secretary or some craziness. In the Church of Scientology, we all know plenty about that. And she was born into it. Now, she's not publicly stated she is a Scientologist. One would assume that she was. But she's also written songs, and she identifies as queer, and she's written songs trashing the teachings of preachers, so maybe she's not. I don't know. But the big issue came with, in being in the Church of Scientology, she was buddies with Danny Masterson, who was the guy from that 70s show who was convicted of the R word to women. Forcibly. Okay, not a drugging situation. Not that that makes it any better, but they loved it. They put forcibly in there, so I felt like I should say forcibly. But now I'm thinking about what difference does it make? It's all the same. Anyway, bad stuff to 2 women he was convicted on, but there are multiple who say he's done it. One of which happens to be the wife of Mars Volta's lead singer. And Cedric called this out years ago. Well, Emily here was a friend of Danny Masterson and went to one of the court dates in the beginning. Now, she has since come out and said, hey, I went, I shouldn't have went, I didn't know a lot of the details. Those details came out. It's terrible, and, we all learn, we all have that friend that like we shouldn't have hung out with, and then we found out some stuff, and like we're like, oh god, can never be cool with them again. So I mean, I'm willing to give her a pass on that. The thing that's kind of iffy is there have been accusations of her pressuring some of the victims or harassing the victims, something like that. I don't want to get too deep down that because I don't want to misspeak, and I probably already have. So yeah, people started digging into her past, and it wasn't great. She's not really confirmed or denied the Scientology angle, so that was an issue as well. And then the big one hit. Chester's son, Jamie, posted publicly that, like, he felt that Linkin Park was erasing his father's legacy. And he made allusions to other things. He didn't really say what those things were, but you were left with the feeling that, like, this has been a shady bunch for a long time. And I don't know why. I can't remember what it was that flipped this for me, but I remember years ago hearing some things behind the scenes, and it was always kind of shady in that group. There was always this weird thing. And I always felt like Chester was our way in. He was us. He was the audience. He was the guy we related to. So, the Mike has always struck me as kind of shady. Mr. Hahn is either, that musical genius guy that that like that's all he does, and you don't know how he pays his bills because he never plays gigs, but like he's amazing, and he always has new equipment, but like how are you paying for this? And there's never an explanation. He's either that guy or he's just like this sadistic businessman that has a great agent. I'm not sure. But yeah, and full disclosure, Linkin Park's not my favorite band. I don't have anything against them. There's a couple songs they have that I like, but for the most part, they're a little light for my taste. So yeah, they posted a lot of video. My opinion, she sounds like someone doing an impersonation of Chester. Like it's like a high level it's a karaoke night with a budget, is how I felt. Now, here's what we have to understand. Linkin Park is they're a band, but they're also a multi-million-dollar corporation. And we would all hope that the band would be respectful of Chester's family. I don't know why, but I've always felt like they weren't respectful to him. Now, I wasn't behind the scenes. I don't know. But, at the same time, what corporations are respectful to the family of members? And this is the thing. This is the hard part. I don't know that their intent is to replace Chester. They say, oh, it's not about replacing or getting rid of. It's about moving forward. And that's what everybody's going to say. But you are replacing him. And this is a hard one. This is a hard topic because the band is in a position of they have lost their income, and they all lost their favorite thing in the world to do. We would assume they're musicians by no fault of their own. Chester made a decision, And as tragic as that decision is, it was his decision. And he made it without, you know, without any way to pad the band from it. Like, these guys lost their income streams. You know, yes, they're multimillionaires or set for life. I know. But they don't get to go out and play shows anymore because of a decision he made. His family is dealing with the loss that will never be healed because of a decision he made. So, should they stop? Should they not play anymore? I don't know that that's fair. I don't know that that's fair to them. And the reality is, no matter where the relationships were at the end, I can tell you that the conversations you have with band members, because you're around them constantly, and your favorite thing to do is play music, so these are the people you play music with. So you're around them all the time doing the thing you love most. And that's great memories, you know. And I would say they probably knew him better than almost anybody on the planet, except for maybe his wife. You know, she had a little more insight, but they would be up there with family members. Like, they lived together, they worked together, they played together, you know. And in that, I'm sure this discussion had happened. It's like every band has those discussions of like, well, what if one of us was to die? Well, would you want the band to carry on? And you know, usually everybody goes, yeah, man, replace me. I want you guys to keep playing. And that's kind of true. I mean, if we're all being honest, no, don't replace me. Like, I want to feel like I'm the most important person in the world, and you could never overcome that loss. But that's just being human. You know, that's the need to be needed. So, on one hand, the guys deserve to be able to go out and make a living doing what they do. And the fans deserve to have new music. That being said, you would hope that Mike and crew would have sat down with Chester's family and discussed things and said, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're moving forward. It seems like that didn't happen. And there will be some hurt feelings in that. And you know, Chester's son Jamie put on Instagram, he fired some shots at Mike and said that he had blocked him so that, you know, because he doesn't like what he's saying. And that may be true. You know, it's the whole thing's ugly, but you're dealing with a lot of trauma. All sides lost someone that was important to them. Even if Mike and Chester weren't best of friends at the end, these guys grew up together and they chased their dream together and they achieved that goal together. You know, I have a friend that he was my writing partner for years, and I would kill to be able to go back to the days when it was like that, because he and I were so singularly focused and no one understood except for him and me to him. Chasing a dream with somebody and working that hard, it draws you to a level of closeness that's hard to explain. Because it's past family. You know, you have deeper conversations because you're having to expose yourself to put your art out. You know, and you got to be raw with each other. And I think that's where this gets a little tricky too, is they have an album. It's getting ready to drop, which means this has been going on behind the scenes. And Mike alluded to it in an interview that, you know, this album's, and they're notorious for being slow writers. So, not meaning that an insult, just they take time to make an album. You know, some people paint, you know, are like Da Vinci and they paint the Mona Lisa over 4 years. And some people knock out a Bob Ross in 30 minutes. Either way, they're both great paintings, just different ways to go about it. So this one's a weird one for me, man. It's tough because I want them to be able to do what they love and make their money. But I would also hope that they would be respectful and they would reach out. You know, if Jamie's feeling this way about his dad's legacy, someone needs to have a conversation with him. They don't have to explain their decision, you know, but it would be nice. At the same time, they're a multi-million-dollar company and the machine's got to roll. The whole thing with her, Scientology, you know, I'll give her she had a friend, you know, that flew in airplanes to bad places to do bad things and she didn't know. But at the same time, she's not commenting on the Scientology thing. And I don't know that even matters, really. But something needs to be said. Something needs to at least have some explanation. And I think the bigger issue is this got dropped on the fans and they feel like she hasn't earned the slot. It's a big spot. You know, and you made an album with her and here she is and you're on tour and like you really kind of halfway mentioned Chester in the background. You know, the fans aren't going to stand for that, and nor should they. But at the same time, this is the decision they made based off a decision he made, and we have to keep remembering that. It always comes back to that, unfortunately. The Scientology thing, here's my balance with that, and I'm going to leave you with this. Should artists' personal views affect the way you feel about their art? And I want to take that a step further. Let's say if they don't put it out there, okay? If I'm hammering you over the head with a political affiliation or, you know, I'm jumping up and down about my religion, then fine, judge me on it in my art as well. But if that's my personal things and I keep that here and my work is my work and that's what I present to you and go, here you go, should artists be judged from their personal feelings, their personal stances? Should their work be judged on that as well? Or can you separate the person from the, you know, the art? That's what I'd like to hear. That's what I'd like to know from you guys. What do you think? What do you think about the whole thing? Did you like her? I thought it was karaoke with a budget. She didn't blow me away. Chester's voice was it could be replicated. What can't be replicated is the feeling. He felt those words, and you felt him feeling it. And you could tell that the emotion was there. She couldn't replicate that. Not in anything I saw. Maybe she'll get better, but she didn't seem to be trying. And I think that she's going to have to. She's going to have to present something to these fans more than just, you know, walking around screaming in the microphone. This fan base is used to having a singer up there that pours his heart and soul into things. And if she doesn't do the same, this isn't going to work. At least that's my take on it. Let me know what you thought about her. And I'm really interested in what do you think about, can artists' personal views be separated from their work, or do you judge it all together? I do want to take a quick second and thank our sponsor. We have one. And it's Fume. If you haven't seen Fume, Fume is a great way to have a new habit that's good to counteract all the bad ones. Because if you're like me, you got a lot of bad habits and you need some good ones. So Fume is not a vape. It's basically just these infused cores, and they fit into here. You turn it to control the amount of airflow, and that's all it is. It's just air. It's not a vape. It's not any kind of tobacco product. It's just air. They have a ton of flavors, like a ton. And that's not even all of them. That's just what I could grab. They just launched this peach blush. If you're a fan of peach, boom, this is for you. They're also doing this new thing. They've got, where's the one I was, here it is. This is not an ad read. This is just me talking to you guys. Retro candy flavors. So they've got like the cinnamon hearts, black licorice. If you like this, you're a monster. I'm sorry. I like you because you're here, but you're a monster. I don't know what to tell. I'm going to hold it upside down because you're a monster. And I hope that bothers you. Not really. I don't care if you eat black licorice. It's fine, I guess. Spearmint. Good stuff. This is actually a great thing to have when you're in the rehearsal space or at the studio, especially at the studio. You know, you can't have contaminants in the air. This is just air. You don't blow anything out. You just, and that's it. So give Fume a try. It's also a fidget. So if you've got a hand habit, you're waiting on a take, you're waiting on the producer to mix something down, you know, it clicks as you turn it. It has a little magnet in to kind of give some resistance. You can also buy these silicone tips if you like to chew on things. Gives you something soft to kind of bite on. So if you're into something like this or you've seen this around and you want to give it a shot, go to tryfume.com/David98211. That's David 98211. The link will be in the description below. Give it a try. You get 10% off your first order. Actually, I think you get 10% off every order. Yeah, that's right. Because they love us at Polyrhythm, and they love you, and they want you to check them out. And I do too. Because if you do, it helps the channel out. So go by and check out Fume. And then drop a comment. Let me know what you think about this whole Linkin Park replacement thing. If you liked it, why did you like it? Did you enjoy her voice? If you didn't like it, what didn't you like? Let me know on the artists separated from their art. If you could, click the like and subscribe. If you guys like these videos and these reactions, you know, let me know. I'll keep doing them. Otherwise, we're going to go back to doing all kinds of music things coming up. But for now, we can kind of knock some of these out in the meantime, if you still like them. So give me a like and subscribe, drop a comment below, and I will see you on the next one.